Welcome to the Occult Knowledge Podcast. I'm your host, Ben Carter. Deep beneath the surface of our known history, veiled by time and shrouded in mystery, lies a clandestine world of whispered secrets. A world where women were worshipped as deities, their power venerated within the hallowed walls of hidden sanctuaries. These were the goddess cults of the ancient world. In the dimly lit recesses of these sacred spaces, ancient priestesses would gather, cloaked in the secrecy of their rituals. Their devotion was not merely to the goddesses they worshipped, but to the divine feminine energy they believed resided within every woman. This belief was carefully guarded, a sacred truth known only to those initiated into the mysteries of these clandestine societies. Much of our understanding of these cults has been pieced together from remnants of their existence, fragments of their stories etched into stone, pottery, and the rare written records. But even these tantalizing glimpses are shrouded in enigma, their language encrypted in symbols that defy straightforward interpretation. Consider, for example, the Minoan snake goddess figurines unearthed on the island of Crete. These small, intricately detailed statues depict a woman holding a snake in each hand, her eyes wide and unblinking. The serpents coil around her arms, their bodies intertwined. For the Minoans, the snake was a symbol of wisdom, the divine feminine, and the cyclical nature of life. But what secrets did this snake goddess hold? What rituals were performed in her honor? The true nature of her worship remains obscure, her mysteries locked away with the passing of the Minoan civilization. Or take the cult of Isis in ancient Egypt, a goddess who reigned supreme in the hearts of her followers. Isis was worshipped as the divine mother, the protector, the healer. Her cult spread across borders, transcending cultural boundaries and thriving amidst the changing tides of time. Yet despite her widespread popularity, the rituals and initiations of her cult remain shrouded in secrecy. The sacred texts recovered from her temples are laden with cryptic symbolism, their true meanings known only to the initiated. These goddess cults held the divine feminine in reverence, their rituals echoing in the silent corners of history. Their existence challenges our understanding of the past, revealing a world where women were not merely passive observers, but active participants in the spiritual and religious life of their societies. Yet the full extent of their influence, the depth of their beliefs, and the power they wielded remain hidden, waiting to be uncovered in the annals of time. As we delve into the mysteries of these ancient goddess cults, we are left with more questions than answers, a testament to the enigma that surrounds them. But with each fragment of their story we uncover, we inch closer to understanding a world that revered the divine feminine, a world that existed beneath the surface of our known history. The origins of these goddess cults extend far back into antiquity, to civilizations that predate written history. Archaeological findings suggest that the veneration of the divine feminine was prevalent in the Neolithic cultures of Old Europe, dating back to approximately 7000 BCE. These prehistoric societies left behind a wealth of figurines, pottery, and murals, all imbued with the imagery of the goddess. One of the most compelling archaeological discoveries is the Venus of Willendorf, a small statuette found in Austria thought to be over 25,000 years old. This voluptuous female figure, with her exaggerated physical features, is believed to represent fertility and abundance. Her very name, Venus, a later Roman appellation, evokes a goddess of love and beauty. Though her original name is lost to us, the reverence with which she was crafted speaks to the power of the goddess figure in these early societies. The ancient city of Çatalhöyük, in modern-day Turkey, provides another glimpse into the goddess-centric beliefs of these prehistoric communities. Unearthed murals and sculptures depict a goddess figure seated between two leopards, a symbol of strength and protection. Archaeologists believe this to be an early form of the Anatolian mother goddess Cybele, revered thousands of years later by the Romans. The ancient Sumerians, who inhabited southern Mesopotamia around 4000 BCE, also centered their religious practice around a goddess figure. Their primary deity, Inanna, was a goddess of love, beauty, sex, war, and political power. The Epic of Gilgamesh, one of the oldest known pieces of literature, speaks of her divine wrath and relentless desire. In the Bronze Age, Minoan civilization flourished on the island of Crete, where the snake goddess was a central figure of worship. Snake goddess figurines, like the ones mentioned earlier, were discovered in the palace sanctuary at Knossos, suggesting a high level of reverence for this deity. And in ancient Egypt, the cult of Isis was a significant aspect of religious life, with her worship continuing well into the Roman period. Isis was seen as the ideal mother and wife, a healer, and a protector of the kingdom. These ancient foundations, stretching across millennia and diverse cultures, tell a tale of societies that held the divine feminine in high esteem. They provide the backdrop against which later goddess cults emerged, their beliefs and practices embedded in an ancient tradition of goddess worship. Yet the precise nature of these early cults, the rituals they performed and the secrets they held, remain veiled by the mists of time. The traces they left behind are tantalizing hints of a world that paid homage to the goddess, a world that held her mysteries in sacred silence. The sacred texts of these ancient goddess cults are often enigmatic, shrouded in layers of symbolism and allegory. The writings that have survived, whether on stone tablets, papyrus scrolls, or within the pages of classical literature, provide tantalizing glimpses into the mysteries of the goddess. In each, the goddess is often portrayed as the primal force of creation, the bringer of life, the arbiter of death, and the keeper of wisdom. In the Greek Eleusinian mysteries, for instance, the story of Demeter and Persephone was preserved in the Homeric hymn to Demeter. This ancient narrative tells of the goddess Demeter's grief and anger when her daughter Persephone is abducted by Hades, the god of the underworld. The tale hints at an annual ritual, a reenactment of the abduction and return of Persephone, symbolizing the cycle of the seasons and the mysteries of life, death, and rebirth. In Babylon, the cult of the goddess Ishtar, the Akkadian counterpart to the Sumerian Inanna, performed sacred rites described in the Descent of Inanna. This text tells of the goddess's journey into the underworld, her death and resurrection, mirroring the cycle of the seasons and the mysteries of life and death. The Egyptian cult of Isis had its sacred texts too, such as the Lamentations of Isis and Nephthys and the Isis Aretalogies. These texts detail the rituals and prayers performed in the cult, offering a glimpse into the depth and complexity of the worship of Isis. In the Hellenistic period, the cult of Isis spread across the Mediterranean, merging with other goddess cults and adopting new rites and initiates. Among these, the philosopher and mystic Apuleius provided a detailed account of the initiation into the Isis cult in his novel, The Golden Ass. These initiations were shrouded in secrecy, often involving purification rites, sacrifices, and intricate rituals, believed to confer divine knowledge and immortality on the initiate. Yet these texts and rituals are mere fragments of a vast tapestry of belief and practice. They are the echoes of ancient voices, whispering their sacred secrets through the veil of time. Their true meaning often remains elusive, hidden within layers of symbolism and allegory, waiting for the patient and discerning eye to decipher. The figures who preserved and revealed this wisdom were not just priests and priestesses, but also philosophers, mystics, and occult adepts. They were the keepers of the sacred flame, the carriers of the ancient knowledge, the guardians of the goddess's mysteries. Their roles were not merely ceremonial, but carried the weight of spiritual and often political authority. The threads of this ancient wisdom, preserved and passed down through sacred texts, rituals, and initiates, weave a complex and fascinating picture of the hidden goddess cults of the ancient world. They reveal a dimension of human history and spirituality often overlooked, a world in which the divine feminine held sway and the mysteries of the goddess were revered and sought after. The echoes of these ancient cults still resonate today, their influence felt in modern spiritual practices and the ongoing quest for understanding the divine feminine. Hidden in the rituals and texts of these ancient cults were profound esoteric symbols and patterns. These were not merely decorative or ornamental, but were deeply imbued with meaning, encoding higher truths and sacred wisdom. Numerology, sacred geometry, alchemy, celestial alignments — these were the languages through which the ancient initiates communicated, their secret codes veiling profound insights into the nature of reality and the divine. In the cult of Isis, for example, the number 7 held particular significance. It represented the 7 planetary spheres through which the soul was believed to ascend after death, a journey of spiritual transformation and enlightenment. This sacred number can be found throughout their rituals and texts, a subtle thread weaving together the tapestry of their doctrine. Sacred geometry, too, played a crucial role in their practices. The circle, the square, the triangle — These basic shapes were seen as the building blocks of the universe, each one symbolizing different aspects of the divine. The circle represented the goddess in her aspect as the encompassing universe, the womb of all life. The square symbolized the four elements of earth, air, fire, and water, while the triangle was a symbol of the trinity of the goddess, maiden, mother, and crone. Alchemy, though often associated with the medieval quest to turn base metals into gold, was in fact a spiritual practice rooted in these ancient cults. Through a series of symbolic operations, such as calcination, dissolution, and coagulation, the alchemist sought to transmute his or her own soul, to purify it and raise it to a higher spiritual plane. This was not a physical process but a metaphorical one, a spiritual journey encoded in the language of material transformation. Celestial alignments, too, held deep significance. The movements of the planets and stars were seen as a divine dance, a cosmic drama playing out in the heavens. These celestial patterns were mirrored in the rituals and ceremonies of the cults, their timing often corresponding to significant astronomical events such as solstices, equinoxes, and planetary conjunctions. These esoteric symbols and patterns were not mere curiosities or superstitions. They were profound expressions of a worldview that saw the divine in every aspect of life, a belief system that sought to understand the mysteries of the universe and the human soul. They are a testament to the depth and richness of the spiritual traditions of the ancient goddess cults, a legacy of wisdom and insight that continues to resonate today. In the shadows of these cults, there existed rituals and practices that were once shrouded in secrecy and mystery. These rites, often misunderstood, were in reality profound expressions of spiritual connection and metaphysical understanding. Take, for instance, the sacred rites of the Eleusinian mysteries, dedicated to the goddess Demeter and her daughter Persephone. These rites were a spiritual journey that mirrored the mythic descent and ascent of Persephone, reflecting the cycles of death and rebirth, the ebb and flow of life itself. Initiates entered the sacred precincts, leaving behind their earthly identities and undergoing a series of profound, transformative experiences, the details of which remain largely unknown due to the vow of silence imposed on all initiates. In the heart of ancient Egypt, the cult of Isis engaged in rituals of healing and spiritual protection. The texts of the cult detailed complex rituals involving the creation of sacred amulets, the recitation of divine spells, and the performance of intricate dances, all designed to invoke the power of Isis for protection and healing. Despite the persecution and condemnation of these practices by later authorities, they provided comfort and solace to countless followers and were a testament to their enduring faith in the goddess. In the far reaches of the Celtic world, the cult of the goddess Brigid practiced divination and prophecy. Through the interpretation of natural signs, the casting of sacred lots, and the prophetic dreams induced by special rituals, they sought to discern the will of the goddess and navigate the uncertainties of life. These practices, though often dismissed as superstition or heresy, were in fact sophisticated systems of knowledge, a way of understanding the world that was both profound and deeply spiritual. In the cult of Cybele in Asia Minor, the cult's priests, known as the Galli, underwent a radical ritual of transformation that crossed the boundaries of gender and identity. Through ecstatic rites fueled by music and dance, they sought to transcend their earthly selves and unite with the goddess, embodying her divine power and wisdom. This ritual, though shocking and controversial to many, was a vivid expression of their total devotion to Cybele. These forbidden practices, these secret rites, were not mere superstitions or eccentricities. They were profound expressions of spiritual understanding, a way of bridging the realms of spirit, matter, and consciousness. Though they were often banned, lost, or condemned, they remain a vital part of the legacy of the ancient goddess cults, a testament to their deep spiritual insights and their quest for divine wisdom. As the torches of history burned on, the teachings and practices of these ancient goddess cults came under threat. Empires rose and fell, new religions emerged, and the world gradually transformed into a landscape where such beliefs were no longer tolerated or understood. These cults, once thriving in their own right, were forced into the shadows, their practices condemned and their voices silenced. The rise of monotheistic religions, such as Christianity and Islam, marked the beginning of a seismic shift in religious thought. These new faiths, founded on the belief in a single, omnipotent God, viewed the worship of multiple deities as heresy, a direct affront to their religious principles. In particular, the cults of goddesses posed a unique threat, representing a stark contrast to the patriarchal structures that these monotheistic religions espoused. The Roman Empire, upon adopting Christianity as its state religion in the 4th century AD, waged a systematic campaign to erase the remnants of the old pagan practices. Temples were razed, sacred groves cut down, and the divine statues of goddesses were defaced or destroyed. The once vibrant rituals and ceremonies were banned, and those found practicing them were often subjected to severe punishment. Yet, despite the relentless onslaught, these ancient teachings managed to survive, preserved in secret by a dedicated few. Transmitting their knowledge from generation to generation, these guardians of the ancient ways kept the wisdom of the goddesses alive. They operated in secret, their actions cloaked in metaphor and symbolism, their rituals held in hidden places away from the prying eyes of those who would seek to eradicate them. Even today, the remnants of these ancient goddess cults can still be found, preserved in the corners of the world where the modern world has yet to fully penetrate. These are places where the old ways are still respected, where the goddesses are still revered, and their ancient wisdom is still sought. The guardians of these traditions maintain their silence, not out of fear, but out of respect for the sacred teachings they hold. Yet, even in the face of modernity, these ancient teachings continue to resonate, their echoes heard in the practices and beliefs of contemporary spiritual movements. The goddesses may have been silenced, but their wisdom still speaks to those willing to listen, to those who seek a deeper understanding of the world and their place within it. This is the enduring legacy of the ancient goddess cults, a testament to the resilience of faith and the enduring power of the divine feminine. Suppressed and silenced, the echoes of their ancient wisdom still reverberate through the ages, a whisper in the wind, a secret waiting to be discovered. These ancient goddess cults were not simply about the worship of divine feminine entities. They were also a conduit for profound metaphysical teachings that could alter one's understanding of reality. Their teachings challenged the conventional wisdom of the time, offering alternative interpretations of the nature of the soul, the afterlife, and the hidden structures of existence. Central to their teachings was the concept of the soul as an eternal, divine essence. Unlike the common belief of the soul's final resting place being either in heaven or hell, these cults offered a more nuanced understanding. They proposed the idea of reincarnation, the transmigration of the soul from one body to another across multiple lifetimes. This belief offered a more cyclical perspective on existence, one that was in harmony with the natural world, reflecting the cycles of birth, death, and rebirth. The nature of the afterlife, too, was reimagined in these teachings. Instead of a binary judgment-based system of reward and punishment, the afterlife was viewed as a realm of learning and growth. It was a place where the soul could reflect upon its past experiences and prepare for its next journey. This perspective nurtured a sense of spiritual responsibility, urging individuals to live righteous lives not out of fear of divine retribution, but out of recognition of their spiritual progression. Perhaps the most intriguing aspect of these teachings was their conception of the hidden structure of reality. The cults proposed that the physical world was a mere shadow of a more profound spiritual reality. They taught that everything in the physical world was interconnected, bound together by unseen threads of divine energy. This energy, they believed, was a manifestation of the goddesses, a divine feminine force that permeated all existence. In essence, these teachings offered a radical shift in perspective. They suggested a reality far more complex and interconnected than what was apparent on the surface. They urged individuals to look beyond the physical, to delve deeper into the mysteries of existence, and to embrace a more holistic understanding of their place within the cosmos. These teachings, then, were not just a form of religious worship, but a pathway to inner transformation. They offered a framework for understanding the self, the world, and the divine, ultimately guiding individuals on a journey of spiritual evolution. The echoes of these teachings can still be heard today, resonating through various spiritual movements around the world. They stand as a testament to the enduring power of these ancient wisdom traditions, a reminder of a time when the divine feminine was revered and the mysteries of existence were explored with reverence and awe. The subtle whispers of these ancient goddess cults persist in our present day, manifesting in various forms and guises, etching the old wisdom in our modern world. The enduring symbols and ideas from these ancient times are found in contemporary art, secret societies, spiritual practices, and novel scientific perspectives, reminding us that our past is not as distant as it might seem. In the realm of visual arts, the imagery of the goddess has become a powerful symbol of feminine strength and spiritual wisdom. This is a testament to the enduring impact of these ancient cults. Artists often use goddess motifs to challenge patriarchal norms, to celebrate female empowerment, and to explore themes of spirituality and transcendence. These modern interpretations, while diverse in their expressions, share a common lineage with the goddess cults, reminding us of a time when the divine feminine was revered. The echoes of the ancient mysteries are also found in various secret societies that have persisted through the ages. The Freemasons, for instance, have elements of goddess worship woven into their rituals and symbolism. The figure of Isis, the Egyptian goddess of magic and wisdom, has been particularly influential in Masonic lore. Similarly, the Rosicrucians, a mystical Christian order, have been linked to the goddess traditions, with some suggesting that their teachings contain echoes of the ancient mysteries. These secret societies, steeped in ritual and symbolism, serve as modern custodians of ancient wisdom, connecting the past with the present in fascinating ways. In the sphere of modern spirituality, elements of the goddess cults can be seen in a range of practices. From the Gaia hypothesis, which views the Earth as a living, conscious organism, to the revival of pagan traditions and goddess worship in Wicca and other neo-pagan movements, the influence of these ancient teachings is clear. These modern spiritual practices often emphasize interconnectedness, a respect for the natural world, and the importance of balance, all ideas that were central to the teachings of the goddess cults. Even in the realm of science, particularly in the field of quantum physics, the ancient wisdom of the goddess cults finds resonance. The idea of a hidden, interconnected reality, which was a central tenet of these cults, is echoed in the concept of quantum entanglement, which suggests that particles can remain connected regardless of distance, reflecting a profound unity at the heart of existence. This emerging scientific perspective, while not directly influenced by ancient cults, resonates with their deep wisdom, reminding us that the mysteries explored by our ancestors still captivate us today. These echoes of the ancient goddess cults in our modern world serve as fascinating reminders of our spiritual heritage. They invite us to explore the hidden depths of our existence, to honor the feminine divine, and to view our world with a sense of wonder and reverence. They whisper ancient wisdom to us in a language we can understand, teaching us that the mysteries of the past are not lost but continue to shape our understanding of the world. There are instances where the influence and resonance of these ancient goddess cults take an even more extraordinary form. Some interpretations, veering into the realm of the mystical and the metaphysical, propose that these cults were more than mere religious or spiritual movements. They suggest that these ancient societies were privy to knowledge and abilities far beyond the understanding of contemporary science and rational thought. One such interpretation posits that these goddess cults were in communion with divine messengers, known by various names across different cultures. These beings, allegedly of ethereal or extraterrestrial origin, were said to have imparted esoteric wisdom to these cults, which helped shape their spiritual beliefs and practices. They were seen as the sacred intermediaries between the human and the divine, their messages often encoded in the symbols, rituals, and myths of the cults. Others propose that the goddess cults were masters of energy manipulation. Building on the concept of interconnectedness, which was central to their teachings, they were said to have understood and harnessed the subtle energy fields that permeate all of existence. This ability allowed them to perform what we might consider miracles or magic, but which they understood as merely the application of natural laws unknown to mainstream science. There are those who suggest that the goddess cults held knowledge of reincarnation, or the cyclical nature of life and death. They point to various myths and rituals that seem to indicate a belief in the transmigration of the soul, an idea that has been embraced by many spiritual traditions throughout history. This understanding of life as an eternal cycle, they argue, gave the cults a profound wisdom and acceptance of the rhythms of existence. Finally, there are interpretations that propose the goddess cults were guardians of dimensional gateways, portals to other realities or levels of consciousness. The sacred sites of these cults, often aligned with astronomical markers or natural energy nodes, are seen as potential access points to these other dimensions. Through ritual and meditation, it is suggested, the initiates of these cults could traverse these gateways, gaining wisdom and insight from these mystical journeys. These interpretations, while certainly extraordinary, reveal the breadth and depth of the fascination with the ancient goddess cults. They suggest that these societies, far from being primitive or naive, were custodians of a profound and esoteric wisdom, a wisdom that continues to intrigue and inspire us even in our modern scientific age. They invite us to gaze into the hidden depths of our past, into the mysteries and secrets of the ancient world, and to wonder at the possibilities that lie concealed there. In their silent sanctuaries and under the watchful gaze of the goddess, these ancient cults might have held the keys to truths that modern society yearns to unlock. The spiritual and metaphysical implications of their teachings, if they could be fully understood, might offer humanity a path towards deeper wisdom, unity, and potential evolution. In the echo of their chants and rituals, there resonates a call towards a more holistic understanding of existence. Their perspective of interconnectedness, if embraced, could lead to a more harmonious relationship with nature and each other. It could provide a framework for a sustainable future, where the welfare of the planet is as important as individual prosperity. The cult's mastery of subtle energy manipulation, if it indeed existed, could revolutionize our understanding of the universe and our place within it. It could redefine the boundaries of what is possible, opening up new avenues for exploration in science, medicine, and technology. Their knowledge of reincarnation, the eternal cycle of life and death, could alter our perception of mortality. It could help humanity to accept death not as an end, but as a transition, a renewal, a part of an ongoing journey of the soul. It could relieve the existential fear of oblivion and inspire a deeper appreciation of the present moment. The possibility that they guarded dimensional gateways, portals to other realities, challenges our conception of a single objective reality. It could open our minds to the existence of other dimensions or levels of consciousness, and the potential for exploration and discovery that they hold. It could lead us to redefine our understanding of existence itself. These are the mysteries that lie hidden in the whispers and shadows of the ancient goddess cults. These are the tantalizing possibilities that they hold for humanity's evolution. These are the questions that still echo in the silent sanctuaries, the answers waiting to be discovered. The quest for these truths might lead us to a greater awakening, a revelation of our potential, a path towards a future that is as yet unimagined. As the echoes of the ancient goddess cults reverberate through time, we are left to ponder their enigmatic messages. In the silence of their sacred sites, in the symbols of their rituals, in the depths of their myths, there may lie dormant the seeds of a new understanding, a new consciousness, a new world. And perhaps, in the pursuit of these hidden truths, we might find not only a glimpse of our past, but also a vision of our future. Thanks for listening. This has been another episode of the Occult Knowledge Podcast. If you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to follow us wherever you listen to podcasts. And if you'd like to support the show, subscribe to the Occult Knowledge Podcast on Patreon. Subscribe now.